Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, August 2nd, 2017, 10:17 a.m., and we will now reconvene the Compton City Council meeting. May we have a motion to reconvene?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Councilperson Zarita.
Yes.
Galvin.
Yes.
McCoy. Yes. Sharif.
Yes.
Mayor Brown.
Yes. Mr. City Attorney?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Council. Good morning, everyone. We are in a meeting from yesterday. The persons who spoke yesterday are not entitled to speak today. We were still in audience comments. Mr. Irons, I know you were at the microphone. And if there are other sign-ups, I would recommend they be allowed to speak. We hadn't moved on from the audience comment section, and we are going to continue with the meeting from yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Under public comments on agenda and non-agenda items, Mr. David Irons. Excuse me, on agenda items only, as this is a special meeting. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
David Irons, resident of Compton. 3 minutes is too much to say these people need to get a raise. A lot of people don't like people to get raises. I don't care how much money they make. The money that they say they make, it is as much feces is thrown at them through verbal words. I couldn't even sit there and take that stuff. A lot of people, I know I'm a nice guy, and a lot of people take that for granted. And I have been messed over a lot in my life. And some people will do anything for money. Some people won't. Those people that won't do anything for money or will not do anything for money is noble people. But ambitious people will do something for money. And I'm not ambitious. I have never asked this city for nothing financially. But these people need some money to listen to all this, I can't say it, minutia? I can't say S-H-I-T, but to listen to all of this S-H-I-T, those for the people that cannot spell. You guys need more money. And I really appreciate what you have done at Gonzales Park. Even though it took a hard time to get a bathroom there, but it was enjoyable. Oh, now I'm going off I get to, because they do it the same thing. They start off with the topic and then they go somewhere else with potholes and stuff like that. But anyway, y'all need, I don't know how much money you need, at least $2,000. I'm on Social Security, at least you should make more than me, it's $1,850, so go up to $2,000 or $3,000. I don't care how much y'all make. Don't be taking my money from me. I'm on SSI. Since this new people been in office, my property taxes has gone up $400 a year. I had to stop drinking. I can't afford to drink no more. Man, and that is sad, because I used to come in here with my spirits on, my liquid spirits, and I don't even do the liquid spirits no more. And sometimes I'm more dangerous without the liquid spirits, because, hey, I ain't ashamed to be talking right now. But when I know I'm through them liquid spirits, I know I start stuttering and stuff like that. But go on and get yourself a raise. I don't know how much y'all want for a raise. I saw that 125%. That's like too much, but get at least $2,000.
Ms. Irene Barraza.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Commissioner Irene Barraza. And I'm just here to say that even in the Word of God, it says that you are worthy of your labor. But I think that one thing that has to happen is that we have to have a true job description. In the time that you guys will be dark, we have a community that is coming together, and when you come back, we will have some things for you. I think that it has to be from the people, for the people. We need to know exactly what you're doing. I think that it's only fair that the plan of action that you create within each of your districts should be shared and allow the community to be involved with the moves that you make, not only to find out what you're doing for your pay, but also to invite the community to be part of. Another thing that I am concerned is the businesses in Compton as well. I feel that the city council in their districts have the responsibility to assist whatever is going on with the business to make them more successful and to move forward. Community-based organizations that come into the city. I'm about to bring 2 more in, and I would like the council people in all 4 districts, which I will be bringing them in, to be involved with me to help and assist me with their resources and services so that we can bring positive things back to the community. I'm not with the corruption and the drama. I know what I'm doing, and I just want to be a helpmate to the community that I love, that I'm coming back to make things and to be part of making the difference. But if the diocese does not allow us as the community to assist you in what you're doing, and things are done in the dark, which will and are coming to the light, then we are going to do a community committee oversight from the people, for the people. I can't speak too much on that, but in August or September, when you return, the community itself will have some things for you as well. So thank you very much, good luck, and I hope that through the time that you get your break, that you rest, relax, and be prepared to come back to work. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Brenda Postel?
Hi, Council. Tana McCoy and Ms. Sharif, City Clerk Alita Godwin, Mayor Brown, Craig Cornwell Attorney, Jane Zarita, Council District 1. Who did I miss? Mr. Adams. And my council district, and for the 2nd district of my property, Isaac Galvan. I understand that I cannot say what I really want to say because it's not the time. Oh, Craig Cornwell, I'm sorry, City Attorney. I can't say what I want to say, but I am in favor of you getting a raise, but not as much as you say you want. $600 is a little low. I wouldn't mind raising you $400, $1,000 a month, plus what you have, your auto allowance and your cell phones. But that's just me. I don't think Council District 2 deserves any raise whatsoever. I have property in his district. I have called him 9 times. He hasn't returned 1 call. His liaison has taken 2 messages for him, has delivered them to him, and he has not returned my calls. I'm talking, please, Mr. Galvan. I have the floor right now.
I'm just going to remind you, Ms. Postel, that this is a special meeting, and so comments have to be geared forward.
Excuse me, Mayor, but I put that under why he don't want him to get a raise. Isn't that what you're working on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And these are my reasons. Okay, and until he can show himself approved for the 2nd district, I don't even think he belongs up on that seat. And that's all I have to say.
Mr. Saul Figueroa?
Good morning, Council, Mayor, and community members. First of all, I wanted to say that my name is Saul Figueroa, and I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary with my property here in Compton.
Congratulations.
I live in the 3rd District, 1405 South Broadacres, and I made a conscious choice to buy a property here because I love the city of Compton. I love the potential that it has, I love the residents, I love the community, and I work in this community. I'm very fortunate to be a person that not only lives here, but works here and works with some of the most at-risk and disadvantaged young people in our community. And for the past 18 years, I've worked here with El Nido Family Centers, and I've seen the ups and downs. And after 18 years, I made a choice to buy property here because I love it. And I want to say this, that about the raises, I think that, and I'm not going to say these council people that are sitting there, but I'm going to say in general, I feel that the council people need to be paid an adequate amount to do the job. I'm not against that. Just like the gentleman said, just recently, about 2 months ago, I opened up a tax bill. It was a supplemental tax bill of $800-something, additional to what I was already paying for taxes. And I don't mind paying taxes. I don't mind making sure that people get paid what they deserve and that they have a livable wage and they're able to get paid so that they can do the job. So in general, I think that there hasn't been a raise for the council, and I think in future councils, I'm looking not only at the people that are sitting here, but in future, I think council people need to paid a decent wage to supplement the work that they're doing here in the city. So I'm supporting that, and I would like to see a more substantial study. I'm not agreed upon the full amount, and maybe if we want to get to that amount, maybe it has to be over a certain period of time, a gradual increase, so much percent each year to reach that. But I think that we have to really look at a study on how we can do that best. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Susan Adams?
Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
Today, I think the item is number 4, talking about salaries. And just in short, that in our particular charter, it says $600 for a part-time, which I guess some of the people here are not understanding is part-time work. And I think there should be some increase, but I think their timing is really off. And I say that because of the priorities of the city is not taken into account. I am looking at this as a bad timing because of, I'm still trying to understand this. So your timing is off. There is no communication to the community whatsoever. Before this was brought up before years ago, I remember Isidore Hall came to our block club meeting and to petition for it and state the reason why. And it was a lot of that going in the community, which everyone knew. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't just popping up on an agenda. So I'm hoping that as of right now, I say no. Let's do a study. Let's talk about it. Let's bring this information forward. There are some priorities like Measure H, the homeless. We need to focus on what are we going to do about our plan. And I'm still waiting for the potholes and the trash, the trees to be trimmed, and other things that I think you have the leadership to get that in place. And there is no survey that went out to the community. Besides speaking on a one-to-one, I think there should be a survey. So I didn't get my survey to evaluate my council person or the mayor. I didn't get that. Also, I just wanted to take into account of our property taxes are high, extremely high in the county, and our sales tax is now 10.25%. And most importantly, where is this funding source coming from? Where is it coming from? We say we don't have a reserve. We have a $35 million deficit. I'm just still trying to factor where is this coming from. We have extra money like this. Put it in code enforcement. We need to shut down our dispensary. We don't need to go outside to hire a person. We have our in-house that we can employ more people. So right now, I will say no. Let's bring it to the community. Let's talk about it. Let's develop a community, a commission to talk about this. And I think that's about all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Craig Henry? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Brown, may I have special privilege? I have some legal information I believe is pertinent to the...
No, no. We have to follow the rules of decorum, and this is still the same meeting from yesterday, and under the statutes, every speaker has one opportunity to speak, but if there are other members of the audience that wish to speak to any item on the agenda today and that have not spoken either this morning or yesterday, you are welcome to speak at this time as well. Madam City Clerk? Oh, is there one person? Mr. Earl?
You know, after going through all the things that we've been through in this city and fighting for Measure P, monies and all those things, to see you guys sitting up there asking for a raise, and we have not done anything in this city that would warrant anybody getting any money. We need to see you do something. The city is in a mess, and most of you have just gotten your posts. Why don't we sit back, rest a while, do some things in the city, and then ask for a raise? We don't see budgets. We don't see anything. We don't see where this money is coming from, and you guys are going to ask for a raise. It's not fair to the people who put you guys in office, the people that are asking for you to be right by them. Give yourself a chance. Let's do what is right in this city for a chance, and let's call ourselves to order and give ourselves a chance. Let's grow this city. We can do this, but we can't do it if we're pouring on more mess on top of mess right here to keep this city divided. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Because the people in the city are going to see, why should I do this? Why should I do that? When all they're going to do is take the money and spend it on themselves. Let's look at what we have and try to move our city along. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk?
We're now at new business. Item number 1 is a resolution of the City Council, City of Compton, authorizing the city manager to execute a 5-year lease agreement between the City of Compton and Shields for Families for office space at the neighborhood center located at 600 North Alameda.
So move.
Second. Discussion?
Yeah, I actually had this item pulled last Tuesday because I didn't get the opportunity to, the building is in my district, and I didn't get the opportunity to meet with the people from Shields, but yesterday, during the council meeting, we got to talk outside, and they explained to me what they planned on doing there and the services they plan on bringing to the community. So I'm in favor of supporting them now that I have an idea of what they're going to do in my district. So I hope my colleagues would join me in supporting them.
Thank you. Any additional discussion? Roll call?
Councilperson Zarita?
Yes.
Galvin?
Yes.
McCoy? Yes. Sharif?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Item number 2 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Compton declaring pursuant to the Compton City Charter, Section 1304, that any special municipal elections regarding charter proposals may be held on any established election date.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
let me make myself very clear is that I'm here at this meeting today because I do feel that I need to share with the community what my concerns are in regarding this whole issue dealing with the salaries, and I know this is a part of the process of us bringing forth the calling for an election. Right now, I would ask for my colleagues to join me in pulling this item and going back to the drawing board. And that means we need to put an ad hoc committee together and allow the community to go through the city charter, bring forth changes that need to be made, and in the process of doing that, allow them to take a look at the salary increases for the council, and to let the community make a decision as to what that salary should be. Because I'm listening to the community very carefully, because right now I think there's some other things that should be a priority. Definitely is a priority for me. Is to make sure those streets are done, make sure our trees are trimmed, and we're dealing with this issue of illegal dumping out here, and I've been dealing with it for the past 2 years. I truly need some help in trying to get this done. And so those are the things that's a priority for me. And that's where I stand, and I just wanted the community to know that's my position on this, and therefore I cannot support this at this time, because I think that we need to go back and we really need to take a look, and we need to try to get some things done, because we are really here here trying to, no matter how much money you give me, I cannot go out here and do this work. We need people that's able to go out and do the work and try to get this taken care of. We are constantly getting complaints from the community about how dirty this city is. We need to take a look at that, try to get this taken care of. Make sure like I said, make sure these trees are trimmed, because we've got a lot of trees that's down, and it's really looking really bad. So, and in the streets, I mean, it just really kind of saddened me as a council person to sit here and watch to see how the streets are looking. And I know this is something that's really is a priority to this community, and if it's a priority to this community, it have to be a priority for me, because I represent this community. So that's where I stand on this position.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sharif, and I commend you on your leadership and for your care for the community. Many of you that were here yesterday recognize that I was not in attendance for the majority of the meeting, and neither was Councilwoman Sharif, because we're not in support of this item. I am in support of the council doing what they have been elected to do, which is to clean up our city, to pave our streets, trim our trees, add additional lighting, restore our parks, increase public safety, and to ultimately improve the relationship with the community. And I want to take a step back, and we have to recognize what our city has gone through over the last 20 to 30 years. The trust has been destroyed. We've had elected officials that have taken advantage of the taxpayers' dollars. We have had misspending and misappropriations and just all types of corruption for years. And every single council person that is sitting on this dais, we stepped into a $43 million deficit. We were tasked with providing city services with less staff and surmounting debt. This is the first budget that we actually have enough money to provide basic services to our residents because of Measure P. This is an opportunity for us to move forward in a respectful way, in a way that makes sense, and also to honor the sacrifice that our employees have made over the last 6 years to be able to work with less. They have been laid off. Some have been laid off illegally and brought back by former administrations. And now I've spent the last month and a half meeting individually with departments that are responsible for cleaning up our city. I met with park staff that are responsible for maintaining our medians in our parks. And what I discovered is that we have employees that have been working without the proper tools, many of them without even gloves, without basic safety equipment, because the city was not able to provide them with our former budgets. I met with public works staff. They're responsible for maintaining our city. I met with those that are responsible for tree trimmings, and it's all the same. We have employees that have been working with smaller crews, one-man crews, when there really should be 3 to 4. We've had, and at the end of the day, you get the picture. And the result is that residents have been paying their taxes faithfully for subpar services. I am a property owner here in the city of Compton, and I don't have a choice about when my tax bill comes. I have to pay it. And we should not have a choice of whether or not we provide services to the residents of Compton. And for me, as a mayor, this is the first time that we've actually had a budget to be able to provide services. And so my first priority was meeting with the departments to make sure they have the tools necessary to provide services to my constituents. We also have the ability to pave streets and buy equipment for our parks and all these. There are so many things that we can do. And so for the life of me, I can't understand why this is a priority. And beyond that, everyone respects the fact that if you work, you should be paid. This is not slavery. This is not what this is. This is called public service. And so when we took these positions, we knew what the salaries were. And some of us ran again with the same salary. So this is not a surprise, and what I'm asking the council is to just have some respect for the community. Let's focus on restoring relationships that have been lost from years of neglect, and let's really focus on putting our money where our mouth is by production results. I'm for people earning a decent wage. However, these are not standard 9-to-5 jobs, and if we're going to have a discussion about salaries and increases, let's talk about that, because there's a misconception. I've read the charter through and through, and it never stipulates that the council is part-time or full-time, not once. But these salaries that were enacted in about 50 years ago, obviously $600 a month 50 years ago was a living wage. Mortgages at that time were about $100 in the city of Compton. So obviously the intent of that council and those people were to be able to pay a living wage, but they did not include an inflator, which is how we got here today. And so I'm not saying that this should not be addressed, but what I am asking, and I've asked several times on this dais, is that we enact a city charter commission to go through the charter through and through, and don't just piecemeal certain things that are advantageous for us, but let's upgrade the entire city charter to consider where we want our community to be in the future, not today, but in the future. That's our responsibility. We have to decide what type of city we want. We have to decide where it is that we want to go. We have to decide where it is that we want to invest our resources in, and that's a decision that has to be made by the community of Compton, and it can't be done at a special meeting in August when we're anticipated or expected to be on vacation, and we hope people don't show up at morning meetings. It has to be done in a respectful way. And so I'm urging the council to do what's right by the community, to have some patience, and to really allow the community to come together and to work through this as a team. Let's get some successes that we all can be proud of. I have no problem accepting additional wages when there's some work that we can point to. Let's finish the work, y'all. Let's work together as a community, as a family, and clean up this city. Let's pave these streets. Let's do what we promised the constituents that we would do. Because we will be held accountable. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but we will be held accountable for what we do and what we do not do. And at the end of the day, it's all about respect. Council members want to be respected, right? Right? Do you want to be respected, Councilwoman Sharif?
That's correct.
Councilwoman McCoy, do you want to be respected? Of course. We all want to be respected, right? So let's treat people the way that we want to be treated and have respect for the residents and take some time to do this the right way, have a discussion, because at the end of the day, I don't want to just accept the salary. I want to know what you expect from me for that salary. If you want part-time council members or full-time council members, let's have a discussion. And let's have a discussion about pay and accountability. Do you want us to have office hours or no office hours for this pay? Will we enact council report cards to be able to grade whether or not we are focused on the issues that are important to our constituents? Do we want to enact commissions, and not the type of commissions where you get a paycheck for opening and closing in a couple of minutes, but commissions that are chaired by individual council persons that move city issues forward? That way everybody can have something that they focus on, and everyone has an opportunity to be the champion of that cause. A public safety commission to focus on gang violence and human trafficking. We can have a beautification commission that's focused on medians and beautification and cleaning up illegal dumping and blight. We can have an economic development commission focused on marketing our city and bringing in new business and increasing our bottom line and expanding our tax base. We can have a youth development commission focused on improving policies and programs and ultimately the outcomes of our children.
Is there a motion on the floor?
We are in discussion and I am speaking. And so my request is that we continue to move. There is a motion on the floor, Councilwoman Rita. I'm asking for a point of order, and this is a warning. And I'm asking that we, there are Robert's Rules of Order that this council is,
and Robert Rules of Order.
This is the second warning, Councilwoman Zarita.
Given by the city attorney, you have so many minutes to talk, and I think you have
Mr. City Attorney, can you please remind the council person about Robert's Rules of Order and respecting one another, which should be self-explanatory?
We have a couple of issues going on. We got, the mayor has the floor, and someone wanting to get the floor needs to get the attention of the mayor. We are in discussion. Do we have the clock going?
The clock was not going on anyone else speaking, and so if it was not going on anyone else, I'm going to continue to speak. I was actually wrapping up my comments, and that's where it just comes with having some decent respect for one another, and that's what it goes down to. Let's respect one another as community members, as leaders. It's a two-way street. And so you all get where I'm coming from. I hope that the council will make a consideration of Councilwoman Sharif and I and do what's right by the citizens of Compton, because I will warn you this time, just like I warned the council 2 years ago when we had an opportunity to reduce our salaries, and we didn't take that opportunity, is that when you all, if you decide to supersede the will of this community and put this item on the ballot and it fails, you cannot expect to bring it back again, because that is a direct affront and a disrespect to the residents of Compton, because once they speak, they have spoken. And that is a warning. And I am now complete with my comments. Any additional discussion?
Yes. First of all, this is not the first time that this has been presented to the people. It's been on the ballot several times, and it can continue to come on the ballot as many times as it needs to. And when you want to talk about respect as it relates to a salary, first of all, this has been discussed by colleagues to start putting items on the ballot to amend the charter, which is outdated. Staff has gone through the charter. Staff has made recommendations on things that need to be changed. People keep referring to this as a raise. This is not a raise. This is a lower amount of money than people have received for decades for doing these same jobs. And it's most of the same people that come up and spoke and want to talk about what we deserve are the same people that call me 24/7 on my cell phone. So it never stops. You want to talk about a Tuesday night job? This is not a Tuesday night job. This is a Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 12 midnight job. And you want to talk about respect. We can get down and dirty. Secondly, to address the issue about a secret meeting, this was posted like any other meeting. There's no secret, no slip in, no sneaky meeting at all. Why is it coming in August? I've asked for this item to be, and I'm gonna take responsibility and I'm gonna be transparent. I've asked for this item to be on the agenda for months. And the city attorney, city manager, and the mayor can contest to this. But when you want to talk about respect, let's talk about 125% more than the council. Let's talk about doubling the salary for the mayor. Now, if that's not disrespectful, I don't know what it is then. So let's move on. That's my comments. Thank you, Mayor.
Any additional discussion? Roll call.
Councilperson Zarita?
Yes.
Galvin?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Sharif?
No.
Mayor Brown?
No.
Item number 3 is an ordinance of the City Council, City of Compton, calling and providing for a special municipal election to be held in the City of Compton on November the 7th, 2017.
So
This is to
moved.
waive the reading.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilperson Zarita?
Yes.
Galvin?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Sharif?
No.
Mayor Brown?
No.
And on the item,
I had just one question real quick.
can we have a motion?
So moved.
Sorry, second.
Discussion?
Discussion.
Is the proposed, if the signature is verified for the marijuana people, is that proposed to be on the ballot? We were gonna have to consolidate the election anyways, right? That's to the clerk.
Madam City Clerk?
The signatures have been submitted to the county recorder's office for verification. The deadline to get on the November ballot is August the 11th. So I can't say one way or the other, will those signatures be verified in time? But if they're not verified in time, they will not make the November election.
What do you think? You think that they will be verified in time?
Realistically, in my knowledge of signature verification, I think it's impossible.
Okay.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
They've turned in over 8,000 signatures, and typically when you verify signatures, you touch those petitions 3 to 4 times at least to make sure that the address is right, the signature is right, so anything shy of, and they have 30 days, 30 business days, not weekends or
Oh, wow.
holidays. They have 30 days to verify, so.
And how many signatures were required?
6,700 and something, I don't remember the exact number, but at least 6,700.
Well, that's some great news to hear.
If they do not make it, if those signatures are not verified and they make the November ballot, do we still have to have a special election in order to put that on?
If the signatures are not verified, they will not make
No.
that.
then
But
what
that's
do
just my opinion, you know, the county may do it, I don't know, but that's just
I'm
in
just
my
saying-
expertise.
I'm
But
just asking what would be the process if the signatures do not get verified in a timely manner by the 11th? I'm just
then you'd have, then council would have another special election.
We'll have to have another special election,
Correct.
so which means that'll cost us extra. Okay, that's what I wanted to find out.
And, Madam Mayor, Mr. City Attorney, this is called a special election because there's not a general election held in this year, but
In November.
can this item, as it relates to salaries, be placed on a special election?
Yes, that was item 2 that just passed, that declared for a special meeting for charter proposals.
And it can
You
be
just approved it.
But it can be placed on a special.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if I can make,
Miss Kelly, please. Thank you.
if I can give council some additional information, once item, you still have to, prior to getting to the November election, you still have to get on the Board of Supervisors agenda in order to be accepted to consolidate in November.
And what's that deadline?
I'd have to see when their agendas are, I don't know their schedule. So once this is adopted, then I would call and verify it with the Board of Supervisors, the secretary there. So I don't know what their schedule is.
So we are potentially consolidating for one charter amendment for the cost of $100,000. And we will also have to come back and pay an additional $100,000 for a special election for the initiative that is being verified. That is a waste of taxpayers' dollars, period. Period. And the reality is, if the marijuana initiative does not make the November election, which you've heard from the city clerk, we will, by law, have to call a special election within a certain number of calendar days. So potentially, we could have consolidate to the county's election in November, and then turn around and have a special election in December. For, again, wasting taxpayer dollars. So my recommendation, if the council is going to proceed forward with this item, at least consider consolidating for our special election to include the initiative and whatever other charter amendments that could be proposed before then, so that we can at least be able to get some additional things done other than just our salaries for the whopping cost of $100,000. Any additional discussion?
No, I think I made my point. I think we're done.
Thank you. Any additional discussion? Are you all just wanting to move forward and spend the $100,000 now and spend another $100,000 later? Is that what we're doing? Looks like it.
And Mayor Brown, and again, I only estimated the $100,000 based on the last consolidation, so it could typically be.
more?
It could be.
It could be more or less.
It could be more or less, but I just used that factor on our last consolidation with the county.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Adams, for my clarity, have you all identified where in the budget these salaries are going to come from? And the election, excuse me. Those are also unbudgeted costs.
Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, if council approves this item today, then the matter of the funding will come back as part of the quarterly budget review that we're implementing. So it will come back before you for that decision.
So as of today, is the answer yes or no?
as of the day, the city manager's office had no had not
no
made a
idea.
financial provision.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any
And-
additional discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I have a question, Mr. City Manager. The salaries, well, it's not even really salary. The stipends, the compensation that the council was getting previously, has that money been allocated to any other items in the city?
Madam Councilperson, when we adopted the budget, the funds in the city were distributed at that time. The direct answer to your question would be that, yes, those funds were distributed throughout the city budget. But we have recommended to the council that we would put in a quarterly budget review. And so any amendments to the budget, the city manager's office is looking to bring those on a quarterly basis to the city council for review.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional discussion? Roll call?
Councilperson Zarita.
Yes.
Galvin.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Sharif.
No.
Mayor Brown.
No.
Item number 4 is a resolution of the City Council, City of Compton, ordering that a measure to amend the City of Compton Charter in connection with the setting the salary of the mayor and council members be submitted to the voters of the city at a special municipal election to be held November the 7th, 2017, and directing the city attorney to prepare an impartial analysis of the measure.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes. I'd like to make a few amendments to the item. First of all, the salary for the mayor to be 125% greater than the council should be removed. And also, the salary for the mayor to double but not to exceed the council should be removed. And also, once the people vote, whether it's yes or no, if the people vote yes, it should not have to be put into effect by resolution. It should be automatically put into the effect by the voters, by the vote of the people.
Well, I can do one slightly better. You can actually eliminate the compensation for the mayor, and I would like to exchange that for an additional staff person and have the ability to actually pay my existing staff person more money for the work that she does, because we are actually in City Hall working full-time on behalf of the residents of Compton. So, Mr. City Attorney, can you make that happen? I'm not here for the money.
Nor am I, so don't make it.
You know, and it's you know, this is where you get immaturity steps in. Here for the money, you know. All of you said that everybody needs to be compensated for their time, and I agree to that, and so that's my discussion. I said all that I need to say. You know, people want to call it a raise. You can call it that if you want to. It's not a raise. It's being compensated. Everything you do on a regular basis deserves compensation. You know, you have people that volunteer because they want to. That's what they want to do. But people need to be compensated for their time, and that's where I stand. Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilwoman?
you know, in listening to the community, I don't think the community is not willing to compensate us for the time that we do, for our work that we are doing. But I believe, again, and I'm going to reiterate this, I believe the community, there should be a committee formed in order for the community to determine what those salaries should be.
That's what you're elected for, to represent the people. If you
There's
set
a
up
point
a
of order.
committee
There's a
for
point of order. You have been warned, Councilwoman Zarita. I'm asking for the Sergeant at Arms. I'm asking for the Sergeant at Arms.
Excuse me, I'm
Madam
telling you
Mayor.
what my position is. You just-
Councilwoman Sharif, one moment, please. Mr. City Attorney.
We have Councilperson Sharif had the floor. Let's let her continue and finish her statement.
And this is my last warning. Thank you.
When we are talking about charter changes, there should be a committee formed in order for us to allow them to do the charter changes and present it to the council. Therefore, you have the community input. You have now you're working with your community. This is what we should all be striving for, is to work with this community, not against this community. That's why I am saying we do need a committee put together, formed, to allow them to do the charter changes, present these charter changes to this council. And therefore, during that process, they can take a look at the salaries. And I believe this community will be more than fair with this council. This is what my belief is. I trust this community. I trust my community. I believe that it will be more than fair with this council. And that's why I'm asking for us to take a look at putting a committee together and allowing them to go through the city charter and make those amendments and bring forward. This has been done in the past. It's not the first time it was done in the past. They had a committee to perform in order for them to bring forth this charter changes. This is what I'm simply asking that we do. Thank you.
Well, Madam Mayor.
Madam Mayor, I asked that you should put together a charter review committee also, but we continue to move forward with this item.
Mr. City Attorney?
I agree with the charter review committee, is what I said.
I have a couple of comments. One, this is live up here, and there's no way to anticipate where the conversation is going to go. The proposal that the mayor, a member of council, not be part of this matter, I would have to look into. That would concern me, that a charter change only affect 4 out of 5 members of the city council. I would not be able to just correct that right here on the dais. There were comments about changing the stipulation regarding the mayor's salary. That gives me more comfort I'd be able to do that on the dais. I did want to raise another issue regarding, right now, this item, strike that, I'm sorry. There was a comment about not having the salary set by resolution. This was written for an impartial guide, the U.S. Census, to determine the median income. That's how the maximum salary was set. It served as a ceiling, and nothing would prohibit council from implementing a lesser amount. So that's why that was the need for salaries by resolution. So I know there was a request to not have the resolution, but as it's written now, please, Mr. Ray, please stop. You've been walking the whole meeting. I'll get to that. I would not recommend to take it as it's written, to take out the resolution part, because it only serves as a ceiling, not a set amount. Also, currently this item is written to be effective in the charter upon approval and resolution. There is California Government Code Section 36516.5, which states that compensation occurs at the beginning of at least one member's new election. For this for this, for our purposes here, that would be July 1, 2019. There is there is opinions on both sides, but no authority that this government code section is applicable to a charter city. And I believe that the charter inherent authority would prevail, and it can be written as stated to start upon the approval by the voters and the resolution. A more conservative approach, you know, there's nothing prohibiting council from following this government code, but I don't believe it prevails. So those are my issues with this.
And, Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Just for the record, I don't know what Councilwoman Sharif has done since she's been on the council, but I'm gonna tell you a few of the things that I've done. When I came to the council, the city had a $42 million deficit that was not spoken of. When I came to the council, a few months later, the city treasurer said the city was one pay period from being bankrupt. We had a press conference, y'all remember that? Don't get amnesia. So, since I've been on the council and under my leadership with my colleagues, we have stabilized the deficit. We have got employees back to work. We have given raises to employees that have not been given in over years. We have trimmed how many trees, Mr. City Manager? How many potholes have we done? We have started Wilmington repavement. We've started Central repavement. We have a balanced budget. I could go on and on and on. We have implemented audits that has never been done. We have uncovered $4 million of embezzlement. We have stopped a long history of embezzlement here in the city of Compton. Mr. City Manager, do you have at hand a report of the things that just have been done this year under this leadership?
I did not, Madam Mayor, members of the council, I did not bring a report. I was not expecting to be asked any questions about that today.
So we have, do you have your Public Works Director here today?
Special meeting. It's a special meeting. Councilwoman Sharif?
This is under the item, Mr. City Attorney. Stop me if I'm out of order.
We're having a discussion on the salaries. If there's
Well, wait a second.
support for the salaries, then
Sir,
you can have the discussion.
I'm not trying to talk for nobody, but it seems to me like Jana is talking about some stuff she accomplished, something that we've accomplished as a body together in order to do the debate together, and it seemed like you were going to try to stop her.
Well, if you let me finish, I wasn't.
All right, because when the public speaker was bad-mouthing me and to justify me not getting a raise, I think that was funny.
Excuse me, Ms. Pastel. Ms. Pastel, thank you, ma'am.
Madam Mayor, my question is this, is that the thing that the council...
Well, Jana didn't get her question answered.
One moment, please. If you can,
I'm
going to continue to chair the meeting, and I'm going to ask the city attorney to conclude his comments in response to what Councilwoman Zarita originally asked him.
The request is on the item.
Thank you, sir.
So may I continue?
Please.
Mr. City Manager, is the Public Works Director here?
I don't see the Public Works Director. Can request that a staff member would go locate the Public Works Director. I can say from my own knowledge that there have been over 4,000 potholes filled in the last 6 months. The number of trees that have been trimmed, I don't have that number, but I am aware that there have been over 4,000 potholes filled.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Mayor, I would like to speak after her, please.
Okay.
My question is this, the councilwoman did make a statement, and she said that she didn't know what councilwoman, councilperson has done. Now, if I'm a part of the decision-making body on this council, that means that I will participate in the things that happen in this community. So therefore, when you talk about the things that have happened, then you cannot say, well, I don't know what the councilwoman Sharif has done, because the things that you're talking about, the whole council participated in this. So therefore.
And not to go back and forth with you or to insult you, but the majority of the things have been done before you got here.
And there are some that happened after I've been here. And some of the things that you talked about most certainly happened after I came. Because you're talking about all these, the streets and everything that's been done. Central didn't get done until 2015. When I came, Wilmington got done just recently while I was sitting in this seat. So now when you talk about the things that's been done, then that's why I said unless District 4 is not a part of the decision-making process up here. But from my understanding, District 4 is a part of this council.
Councilman Galvan?
Yeah. It's kind of funny, right? You know, I'm not going to come up. Well, two things too. I want to talk about the salaries that are proposed. I don't understand the 125% or double. Can somebody please explain that to me? Because what I was told that was going to be proposed was that it was going to be slightly less than we got last time, and I don't think the mayor had double the salary last time. But I will not support a resolution if the mayor gets the same pay as we do. I think that she deserves to get paid more because she represents the city citywide. And can someone explain that to me, please? Because I don't understand that. Craig, I guess I'm asking you.
City Attorney?
Yes, City. Do you prefer to call you that?
Yes.
All right.
You can look at it as a 25% increase from the level of council as a floor. The ceiling cannot be twice the compensation that council comes up with through resolution. So there's a floor and a ceiling. The floor is 25% more, and it can't be more than twice that of council.
Well, Mr. City Attorney, I seen a resolution with numbers where the council got like 43,000 and the mayor got like 55 or something like that.
That is this resolution.
I believe it was.
I'm okay with that.
That is what the current resolution states in the.
But then, how did somebody say it was going to be like 90 to 100,000?
It's all about reading comprehension. What the resolution clearly states is that there is a ceiling, which means it cannot exceed. There is a ceiling, which means it cannot exceed. If we eliminate the ceiling, then it can exceed. So the ceiling was put to ensure that whomever is sitting on the seat cannot make double, triple that of the council members. So if you want to eliminate that clause, I believe it's bad policy, but that is your choice. Now, my other question to the city manager is that, as the councilwoman eloquently stated, all of the accomplishments that we have made as a body, they were performed by the employees that we have for the city of Compton. And so my question is, how much raise did this body, because I know the answer, but this is a rhetorical question, how much raise did this body provide the hardworking employees that we have in the city of Compton?
Madam Mayor, members of the council, the management is still negotiating with the bargaining units, and there have been no settlements made with any of the bargaining units at this time.
So here we
on
have
wages.
Madam Mayor, may I ask a question?
I'm not-
When was the last time the employees had a raise?
it. I wasn't finished.
Oh, I'm sorry, go right ahead.
I'm just going to say this, that we did approve a COLA, which is a cost of living adjustment, 3 years ago for the employees. We are been in negotiations for almost 2 years with the bargaining units, almost 2 years. And so I don't understand, as leaders, how do we help ourselves first without taking care of the people that work under us? It's poor leadership. Councilwoman McCoy?
Again, I asked, when was the last time employees received a raise?
Madam Mayor, members of the council, the last term for the bargaining units, I believe, expired in 2014 or 2015.
As I said.
So, and during that term, all of the city employees received increases. They varied by bargaining unit, but all of the employees received increases.
And, Mr. City Attorney, can you, for the record, can you explain how the measure reads where the mayor's salary has a ceiling and a floor, that the mayor's salary can be up to $86,000 but not to exceed? Is that the way it reads as it is now?
The language that would go before that would be placed on the ballot does not have the actual numbers. It reads, shall the Compton City Charter be amended to set the salary of council members to not exceed the median household income for the city of Compton as determined by the U.S. Census Bureau's 2011-2015 American Community Survey 5-year estimates, and to set the mayor's salary to not less than 125% of the compensation of council member and not more than twice the compensation of a council member, with salaries set by resolution.
So have we determined the median income per census?
Yes.
And what is that?
That's the 43,507 number.
Thank you. And, you know, just for the record, people keep saying that we're giving ourselves a raise. We're not giving ourselves anything. We're giving this out to the people. That needs to be clear, that we're giving it out to the people.
My last request for the council to consider, since we are, people have no problem taking credit for the work that the employees do, are we willing as a body to take the same raise that we've given our employees? 2%?
2%.
Are we willing to take a 2% raise?
I think we need to tie it to their raises.
Okay. All right.
So can we make the amendments to the item? Mr. City Attorney?
He's already explained.
You'd have to restate what the amendments are, and council can vote on the amendments.
I have an amendment by council, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I wrote down. The amendment by Councilperson Zarita is to exclude the 125% compensation and the twice the compensation salary language and the not to set by resolution language.
Yes, and I
Remove that.
I had a question. Mr. City Attorney, can you explain that to me one more time?
The mayor's part of it?
Yeah.
There's a floor and a ceiling set for the mayor that's higher.
Why is that set for the mayor only and not the council?
It's just a proposal.
Who put that in?
This item I worked through the city manager with, and that's how it came to the dais.
Because Jana requested the item, she said, and obviously she didn't want that in there, so obviously you probably put it in.
That's not what he said, but let's get one thing straight. We can. I don't think he's concerned about it. Comprehension is just not where we are.
Well, certainly whoever put it in, an amending motion can take it out.
And you know, I also agree with, I also believe is the better word that I want to say, Councilwoman Zarita's comments earlier when she said she requested this months ago, because I requested items months ago too through the city attorney, and never gets done. So I do understand why we're having the special meeting, and I think we need to be, you know, get some better legal advice up here and some better legal services.
I'm going to ask the audience to please, Ms. Kelly, this is a warning, please, please. If we can just maintain some order, everyone.
And maybe we wouldn't have to have a special meeting today.
Madam Mayor?
I'm just going to say one thing, and it's just really clear that number one, this item, as was said, was prepared by, well, requested through the city manager to the city attorney. And one thing is just clear, whether people like me or not, agree with me or not, is that I am elected citywide by all the residents in the city of Compton. I do not represent one district. I'm not responsible for one district. I'm responsible for the entire city of Compton. I am not a council member. When constituents need issues within their districts, I don't turn them away and say, go see your council person. We assist them. And I would love it if I didn't have any constituent issues, because all the council districts and persons have been representing have been taking care of their folks, and we can focus on economic development, job creation, all the things that mayors are responsible for, new technology, all the wonderful things that you're able to focus on when basic services are met. And so I have been working as a team with my colleagues to assist the residents. Whatever the need is, we help fill it. We don't say, you know, you should go see this person or go see this person. We don't give people the runaround. We assist them. And so at the end of the day, people can feel the way that they want to feel, but I am not a council person. I am the mayor. I run citywide, not by a district. And if people want to make everything equal, then we should all run citywide and be elected citywide and be responsible citywide to all the constituents. And I'm sure we probably make some different decisions up here as well.
Well, you know, I want to comment back to what the mayor just said. I think it's kind of unfair and your comments you just mentioned, right? You said that if the council members were doing their job, then we wouldn't have constituents calling your office. Because I thought we had a really good working relationship.
And that's not what I said.
You just said that a few seconds ago.
I said that if there were constituent complaints that were null and void, taken care of, obviously there are so many requests or complaints that one council person can't address them. So I step in to assist them. And what I would like to see one day is we get to the point to where basic city services are met, and you all don't even have the type of or the level of request that you receive. We're not there yet. And so currently what I said where we are today is everyone has to help. And I don't mind doing that, and I've never complained about it, ever. But I'm letting the residents and the constituents, I mean, and even my colleagues know where we are, because I've never mentioned it to them, how many requests we get per day, how many emails we get per day, how many walk-ins we get per day. We just take care of the residents. I don't turn them away. I don't complain. I don't say, see this council person. I don't do that. We're here to serve. And so I'm sorry that you took it the wrong way. That was not my intent. But what I'm saying is where we are in the community, there are so many requests that everyone has to step in to assist. And I'm still held responsible citywide. When the streets are not paved, I'm held responsible. When the potholes are not filled, I'm held responsible. When the trees aren't trimmed, I'm held responsible. When crime goes up, I'm held responsible. When we have a deficit, I'm held responsible. If there are layoffs, I'm held responsible. If there's corruption found in the city of Compton, I'm held responsible. And not once have I pointed a finger at any of you, even though you all have the power that I do.
And you're right.
So just have some basic respect and treat people how you want to be treated.
Madam Mayor?
I appreciate your clarity on that one.
That's not mine. I've never come against you guys like that, ever, no matter what, ever. Because I actually believe in a united front for the benefit of my residents, because they don't deserve to have leadership like this with so much discord. When is it going to be bigger than us? When is it going to be bigger than us? When is it going to be about these residents, about these kids, these businesses, these nonprofits? When is it going to be greater than us? We're here in August when we're supposed to be taking a break to recharge and come back and serve greater in September, and we are bickering about a couple extra dollars for a raise when we can just respect the residents and work with the community and not against the community. That's leadership. That's leadership.
And, you know, also, too, I think that when something goes down, everything the mayor said, it also applies. I'm not going to be like one of those people that speaks for everybody else. I'm going to speak for myself. When crime goes up in Compton, I hear about it, too. I get blamed for it, too. When the streets are messed up in Compton, I get blamed for it, too. So everybody gets blamed and everybody, gets criticized. I get called from people in different districts, in the 4th district all the time, asking me for stuff over there in different districts, not because they don't know not because I'm not going to put nobody down on their job they're doing or the job they're not doing, but maybe because they feel more comfortable talking to me or as opposed to somebody else. Maybe because, I don't know, for whatever reason, but we all get calls from different, I'm going to speak for myself. I get calls from different districts as well. And, the mayor, I supported her from day one. I believe I'm the only one on this dais that supported her reelection. So that's what I want to say. So I'm with the mayor 100%. She knows that. That's why I think that the salary thing, that's why I brought it up. So, yeah.
Miss Kelly, thank you. Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you, Miss Kelly. Thank you.
Madam Mayor.
I'm going to ask, yes, Councilwoman Sharif.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to say this. I am trying to get my number out here to the community because if there's an issue in my community, in this District 4, call my office directly. I address those issues. My assistant respond to these people immediately. And no matter who called my office, it doesn't matter. She's going to respond. So therefore, if they're calling someone else, I have no idea why. Because if they call my office, we immediately address their issues and their concerns. So I have no idea why they call anybody's district.
Well, it's the same.
Madam Mayor, Madam Mayor, that stands the same for the 3rd district. I'm responsive. I answer the phones. My liaison answers the phone.
That's right.
And when there's an issue, and I don't pick districts either. People know me because I worked in the city, so they will call me. I don't say, oh, that's Councilwoman Sharif, you have to talk to her. I will handle it. I send a lot of things to the city manager. And Councilwoman Sharif even reminded me once, that's not your district, it's mine. But I don't mind taking care of issues. So this is not about the salary here. This is about putting it to the vote of the public. That's it. It's up to the public. If they say the council deserves an increase in the salary, and if they don't, that's okay too. The job will still be done. So thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
to address the issue about citywide and the voting citywide and district only, I was first elected in 2011 citywide. And Mr. City Attorney, can you say for the record how we transformed to district only voting?
Vote of the people.
I know how, but
There was
it's not the reality.
a lawsuit that came. We ended up settling the lawsuit and going to the people on a ballot to move to by districts.
And what was the purpose of that lawsuit?
The purpose of the lawsuit was to try to get us to go by district.
For equal opportunity.
To comply with the California Voting Rights Act.
Thank you.
Madam City Clerk, oh, she stepped out. There's a request on the floor.
Well, I have a comment.
Yes, sir.
I know it's regressing the conversation a little bit, but let me go back to the request that came to me regarding this item. I don't know if it was months ago, it may have been, and the manager came to me and said, council wants their salaries on the dais. And I said, what does that mean? And conversations went back and forth over time. This represents about 2 weeks before the manager made a call of any type of direction. But there was not any attempt on my part to delay the item. And if it took me months to bring this item forward, if it did, if I got direction 2 months ago, there's no one with the experience and training up here to say that took too long. It took as long as necessary to bring it to the dais, because I do have a concern over the legality of issues, and I do take those things personally. And that's, so it was ready when it was ready.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and I have one last comment to make, Mayor.
I do too, the rebuttal. I may not have the legal expertise that the city attorney has, but I do have the common sense that anybody up here should have.
Thank you. Councilwoman Zarita?
Thank you, Mayor. Just for the record and for transparency, you know, I respect the respect that you guys have for me. I get blamed for a lot of things up here, and I'm only one vote, but everybody gives me the credit for everything. And by charter, Mr. City Attorney, can you tell the people how salaries are set for a mayor and council?
It's in the charter.
I mean, can you tell the people?
It's in the charter.
Mr. City Manager, can you tell the people how salaries are set for the mayor and council?
Madam Mayor, members of the council, the charter addresses that specific issue.
That the salaries for the mayor and council are set by the people. And by charter, the salaries for the city attorney, city clerk, and city treasurer are set by the council. So when the council, and I'm gonna just do this just because this is who I am. I'm gonna give you guys the explanation. When the DA, people talked about this, when the DA said to cease and desist compensation for gaming, UCDC, and the other meetings that we used to get compensated for, it was a direction by the DA. Am I correct, Mr. City Attorney? We had no choice in that, did we?
The district attorney sent letters to council members advising the members on their interpretation of our compensation system.
And what was your recommendation from that letter to the council?
Well, what I said was the threat of violating the penal code is a personal issue. We could fight for the city's compensation system, but at the end of the day, it is you as an individual that is up against a potential criminal charge. It had nothing to do with whether, as the city attorney, I wanted to fight or not fight. It's whether you wanted to fight with your freedom at issue.
Correct. And so, and just for the people that know everything, can you tell me how your salary got to be what it is? It was combined of all the stipends that were given to all people across the board.
Well, I'll answer it this way. The compensation for city attorney was established in 2005. There has not been a cost of living. There has not been an increase for now 12 years.
She said, and the city clerk.
And same for clerk and treasurer, because the clerk and treasurer were determined at the same time. There was and I'm sure you know the year, I don't remember, where the compensation was comprised of the various commissions that we were sitting on. The money was put into one pot without an increase or decrease. So now there's one source for those payments. But the money hasn't changed in 12 years.
But your salary no longer depends on the commissions. We set your salary at one flat rate, the council.
Correct.
Thank you.
And council's salary is not on the commissions either.
Correct. Thank you. So I'm going to call for the amendments. And Madam Clerk, do you have the amendments? And City Attorney, are you okay with the amendments?
You would need a second.
But, so I'm clear, Madam Clerk, can you read the amendments again, please?
The amendment that I have is to exclude the language of 125% compensation and twice the compensation salary and not set by resolution. That language would be excluded.
And also, I think it's for transparency to the people, instead of putting the language of the median income per census, we should put the dollar amount. And the 43,000 annual salary, not, the salary increase should be effective immediately upon approval of the measure by the voters.
And what was the, I don't have the resolution in front of me, what was the thing for the salary for the mayor that was proposed? It was like 50 something, right? I'm asking the city clerk, sorry. I know you're writing down, so I'll wait.
The
54,384.
Say it again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
54,384.
Can we have that number in there too?
So you want to exclude, that would be the 125%.
Yeah, I want that in
You
there.
want to leave that in there? for
Yes,
the
I
mayor?
do.
That's fine.
Because I think it's fair, because the mayor does represent citywide. And I do agree with the mayor's earlier comments about giving the liaisons pay increases as well. But when I brought it up, nobody wanted to support it.
I did support it at the time.
That's true, you did, I remember.
Is there a second on the amendment?
Well, I didn't support it
Mayor,
last time.
they're yelling from the audience.
So the,
I'm going to, thank you.
So just to make it clear, the liaison salary will not be included
Yeah.
in this, just to make it clear, no.
And to make it clear, no, I did not support it the last time.
So we're going to leave in the 125% for the mayor, but we're going to exclude the double the salary not to exceed.
so the second amended motion will include, to exclude the twice the compensation salary, not to set by resolution, add the dollar amount, and the salary should be effective immediately.
Correct. Is there a motion for the amendment?
So move.
I have,
Second.
council, I just need a second.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilperson Zarita,
Yes.
Galvin.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Sharif,
No.
Mayor Brown.
No.
So you
On the
had a-
item?
You had an amendment. Do you want to go?
The city attorney said that he cannot make a determination at this time.
Okay. So on the item, there's a motion on the floor. That the motion was just the amended motion, now it's on the item. So it's moved by Zarita, second by McCoy, on item number 4. So this is the original motion, which will now include the amended motion.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
So you have to,
So I just need a roll.
Well, excuse me, Madam Clerk, this is without the amendments?
This will include your amendments. You have to do the amendments first, and now this is the original motion on the item.
With the amendments.
Which will include your amendments, yes.
Thank you.
Alita, before I vote, can I just I want to make it absolutely clear. So anybody out there that, may have, whatever, barely watched and all that stuff, we are not voting for a raise for ourselves. Excuse me, I don't need you guys to answer for me. We are voting to put an item on the ballot so the people of Compton can decide whether or not we deserve a raise. Is that true, or? I just want to make sure we're clear.
That's the ultimate goal, yes.
So after this vote right now, if it passes, we're not going to get higher salaries. It's up to the people to decide what they want their policymakers to make.
Any additional discussion? Roll call?
Councilperson Zarita?
Yes.
Galvin?
Yes.
McCoy? Sharif?
no.
Mayor Brown?
No.
Item number 5 is a resolution of the City Council, City of Compton, requesting the Board of Supervisors of the County of Los Angeles to consolidate a special municipal election to be held on November the 7th, with the election to be conducted by the County of Los Angeles on the same date pursuant to Section 10400 of the California Elections Code. And,
We cannot have speaking from the audience. This item has not been pulled, and we're proceeding forward with city business. Thank you. Madam City Clerk, do you mind just rereading the title?
Item number 5 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Compton requesting the Board of Supervisors of the County of Los Angeles to consolidate a special municipal election to be held on November the 7th, 2017, with the election to be conducted by the County of Los Angeles on the same date pursuant to Section 10400 of the California Elections Code.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Madam Mayor, I think what the resident was referencing is in this proposal, it has Exhibit B, which talked about the proposed charter amendment, and so it was attached to this resolution, so we're just making sure that it's not included, that's all.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
you can make a amendment to direct us to pull it,
But pull the
Exhibit B,
Exhibit B,
for clarity.
yes. Right. Which was the item to change the population, so I would like to amend to make sure that that is not included in this resolution.
So moved. You need a motion for your amendment? So moved.
Second.
Yes.
Roll call?
Councilperson Zarita?
Yes.
Galvin?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Sharif?
No.
Mayor Brown?
No.
And on the item, there's
So
a
moved.
motion on the floor.
Call for a
We
question.
already did that, huh?
There's a motion on the floor, just need roll call. I believe that, section 2 would reflect the same amendments as item number 4. Correct, Mr. City Attorney?
I'm sorry.
Section 2 on item 5 would reflect the same amendments on item number 4,
Yes, ma'am.
which is the 125%.
Right.
There should be a motion for that as well.
Okay.
So moved.
That's the public.
So moved.
Second.
So
To reflect the amendments in the item number 5.
yes, so the item number 5, the amendments would be to exclude the twice compensation salary language, not set by resolution at the dollar amount, and the salary should be effective immediately. So that's the amendment to item number 5. And there's a motion on the floor.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor, roll call. Discussion?
Any additional discussion? I'll just say, from a point of policy, the entire reason why this council is in this predicament today is because there was not an inflator or an index that was adjusted in real time. And so by putting the actual salaries in this item will put future councils in the same exact position that we are in today. So that is just for the record, from a policy perspective.
So are you saying you want to add an inflator?
I'm not saying any, I'm just making a reflection as to where we are. If the intent was truly to improve the policy and to ensure that council is compensated in current real time or cost of living, this does not meet that qualification. Any additional discussion?
So maybe we should add a cost of living.
That's not what my
Maybe we should
recommendation
just leave it alone and vote.
Roll call.
Councilperson Zarita.
Yes.
Galvin.
Yes.
McCoy. Sharif.
No.
And Mayor Brown.
No,
You're at council comments.
Can I go first, please?
absolutely.
Thank you so
Councilman
much.
Galvin?
Just want to thank everybody for coming out today and yesterday as well and being a part of the process. I want to make it absolutely clear. I'm not going to sit here and talk about all the stuff that I feel like I've accomplished in my districts the last 4+ years because you guys see them every day. I'm here to serve the people. I'm here to represent my district. I'm here to support all of my colleagues whenever they need my support and whenever they ask me to. There's not a single person on this dais that can't say I didn't support them when they were either running for office, when they have their events. I always make myself available to support my colleagues. I believe in working as a team. The mayor said it earlier, I believe the same thing. So yeah, you guys have the right, everybody at home has the right to decide what they want to happen on the November election. If you guys want your council members to be compensated properly, then vote yes. If you feel like you don't want them to, simply vote no. It's not going to change how I govern. It's not going to change how I operate. It's not going to change, the passion that I have for making a difference in my community and serving my people. So I want to make sure I make that absolutely clear. Also, since I got a small platform right now, I want to make sure that I give another plug for my 5th annual Back to School Backpack Giveaway, which will be taking place Saturday, August 12th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Looters Park, right on the corner of Rosecrans and North Bullis Road. Please get there early because I can assure you there'll be more than 9 people at that event, so it'll be a big event. We're going to be giving out notebooks, Kindle notebooks to all the kids, backpacks to all the kids, free haircuts for all the kids, free eye exams and eyeglasses to all the kids that come out. We're working on getting some shoes donated for the first 100 kids. The Sockmobile will be there as well, giving out socks, and we're trying really, really hard to get a Bloodmobile there. We ran into a roadblock with the Red Cross, so we're hoping we can find another avenue. If anybody has a connection for a Bloodmobile, please share it with me so I can make sure that we do that. The reason I want to do that is because I seen on the news a couple of weeks ago that there's a shortage of blood at Children's Hospital. And I remember when my mom was sick, they did several blood transfusions to her, so I know how important that is. But if we don't get the Bloodmobile for that event, I'll be having an event soon so we can make sure that we donate some blood as well. Yeah, and that's the end of my comments. Oh, also, I'm partnering with the school board president, Satcher Zarita. I'm partnering with, who's their sponsors? WRD, Walmart. Stockcross is the one that's donating all the Kindle notebooks. So we only have 1,000 of those, so make sure if you want the notebook, you guys get there early because my events always draw big crowds, and I'm very grateful for that. So thank you guys all again, and God bless you, and hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you, Councilman Galvin. I go out of order today. Councilwoman Sharif.
Mayor Brown, thank you. First, let me thank the community for coming out and being here and actually voicing your concerns in regards to this issue that's on the agenda. And like I said, I came because I wanted to make sure that the community understood what my position was in regarding this. And because my priorities when I was elected back in 2015 has always been because the streets, tree trimming, and most certainly the illegal dumping that I continue to face there in 4th District. I've been working really hard there with the courts in regard to the issues dealing with Long Beach Boulevard. That is an issue that is going to take a lot of work. And we have been truly working on that, working with the different judges, working with the court system, working with the sheriff department, and we're really kind of also working with other cities as well, from the city of Long Beach, city of Linwood, coming together with them to address that issue. We've been constantly doing this. That's something I'm going to continue to do until we can get the resources, because we need resources, until we can get the resources in order for us to be able to actually address that issue adequately. And so when people talk about what I've done, I've stayed focused on what my priorities have been here as a city council person. Those priorities are not going to change. And I do believe that we need additional people out here working for us in order for us to try to get this stuff done. We need people to help us clean this city up. We need people out here working, because I cannot go out here and do this work, but we do need people out here working and try to make sure that we are addressing the concerns, with making sure that the basic needs of this community are most certainly being met. And that is a priority for me, and it's always going to be a priority for me. And that's my position. And so I appreciate all of you guys coming out and participating and being a part here in this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sharif. Councilwoman McCoy?
Thank you, Mayor. A few things. First of all, let me say, being on the council, even though council is dark in August, that doesn't mean that the council stops working. My calendar is full. I'm not even able to go away because I have some commitments that I'm willing to keep. And so it doesn't have anything to do with not working as much as it has to do with giving staff a break also. As a council person and a staff person, I remember council did not, when council went dark, staff was able to get a whole bunch of things done because the council wasn't there every day, but that doesn't mean that you don't have commitments. So although we're dark, it doesn't mean that the council doesn't work. That's the first thing. Second thing, I've supported this item just to bring it to the people, and it's up to the community. Whatever you say is what we will do. I will continue to work no matter what the salary was. I did accept the job, absolutely, knowing that it was $600 a month, and if it remains that, I will continue to do what I'm doing. So it has nothing to do with that. It's about support and moving forward with what the council, the business of the council. And finally, I have a movie in the park through donations, not using the city's money. I have donations from my community. It's on Friday from 5 o'clock. There will be, someone will be doing haircuts. We'll have a domino tournament. We'll have bid whist. We'll have a jumper. We'll have all kind of activities for the community. There will be popcorn, hot dogs, and refreshments for the kids. And the movie is Jungle Book. And come out and join us. We'll have a great time at Burrell McDonald Park on Friday. It starts at 5 p.m. I will have Lions Productions there doing the haircuts, and the park will be full of laughter and children and a good time. And then finally, I want to adjourn in memory of Jim Miles, who is a former employee's father, and Sandra Taylor. That's all of my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman McCoy. Councilwoman Zarita?
Thank you, Mayor. Just to be very brief, this is a democracy, and I agree with Councilman Galvan. It will go out to the people, and the people will decide. The residents will make a decision what they want the compensation set at. That's all it is. And being an elected official, you have to have conversations about things, as Ms. Calhoun knows, that are not always comfortable. But you got to have the conversation. And I will close in saying that I will continue to serve. I love to serve. My family has served this community for over 60 years. My mother was the director of the first after-school program in the city of Compton. My mother was the director of Meals on Wheels for over 40 years, served over 3 million meals in the city of Compton. My mother has probably served almost every citizen's grandmother, mother, elected officials. There is no end to the service that my family have given to this community. My sister serves as the president of the Compton Unified School Board. She served for over 12 years. And it's just, and I'm not even going to address the comments that some of you upscale citizens sit here and make at me, but I'm going to just speak my heart. And, I have served this community to no end. And when you people say that you're not political, what a person deserves, most of you call me on Sunday, you call me on Friday night, and nobody here can say that I don't answer my phone, or I don't answer my calls, or I don't serve the citizens. And do I only serve District 1? Not at all. There are several people sitting right here in this room that do not live in District 1 that I have helped with issues, whether it be little or big, whatever your issue is. But I just want to say thank you all for your support, whether it be good or bad. I thank you, because you all make me a better person. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank all the residents that came out today to voice their opinions on the matter. We respect your opinion, your input, and I look forward to working with a charter commission to make the type of improvements and updates to our city charter as a whole that the city of Compton deserves. I want to thank Councilwoman Sharif for her support of the commission as well. I think it's something that is long overdue. And for those that are at home watching or that feel looked over or disrespected, you do have an opportunity to voice your opinion at the polls. I urge everyone, don't just take situations lying down, mobilize and fight for your community, because this is your community. You pay your taxes. We are your representatives, not the other way around. And so I'm looking forward to the break. I think everyone needs a respite, a time to retreat and to be re-energized, and so I look forward to seeing everyone in September, and I am here to serve the entire citizens, all the citizens, the residents of the city of Compton, businesses, community members, and one thing I did want to just say publicly, and I've said to many people that were on different political sides, that once the elections are over, it's time to move the city forward. We need all hands on deck to work together to improve our community. And so I hold no grudges for anyone. I'm looking forward to working with everyone, because the residents deserve wisdom from all ages, top to bottom, to work together to improve our community. To our employees, I just want to thank you all for the hard work that you do day in and day out. Many people feel unrecognized, unappreciated, but I see you, the residents see you. I want to thank everyone for working tirelessly, regardless of whether or not you get a raise or not. You don't have an opportunity to decide whether or not you show up for service. And so I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for the lives that you saved, the streets that you've cleaned, the parks that you maintain, and for the services that you provide to our residents day in and day out. And one thing that I know for sure in my life, and I've seen a lot, done a lot, I can say that sometimes people believe that they are in control, but I only know one that's in control, and that's God. And so he will have the final say, as he does time and time again. So I'm looking forward to this next year. And I also just challenge my colleagues that if we believe that we deserve compensation, if you can honestly say that when you look out on the streets of Compton, when you walk out on Compton Boulevard, when you descend back into your districts, if you believe that you deserve a raise, I say that I don't know if we're looking at two different cities, but I can say I hope we're inspired and encouraged to do more and to work harder and to deliver greater services that the residents deserve. And so I'm encouraged. I look forward to this next season. And I thank you all again for your time on today and yesterday. May you all continue to be blessed, and God bless the city of Compton. Oh, and lastly, I want to ask, since we've been dealing with finances, Mr. City Attorney, could you please bring forward any and all outstanding legal matters that the city has been awarded damages and that we have not recovered, because there are significant funds that are owed to the city of Compton that we need to pursue unequivocally and relentlessly. And so I'm looking forward for that item coming forward. And if you can bring that back the first meeting in September, I would greatly appreciate that, because as we are spending money that is unbudgeted with a special election, $100,000, we're proposing to bring salary increases that are unbudgeted, about $300,000. We have raises that have been unsettled for our city employees, over $1 million. We need to pursue and recover any and all funds owed to the city of Compton. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Councilwoman Sharif. So we're looking forward to that. If we can get that the first meeting in September, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. May we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Councilperson Zarita.
Yes.
McCoy. Yes. Sharif.
Yes.
Mayor Brown.
Yes.